Good evening and welcome inside the GCU softball stadium for day 4 of the GCU kickoff tournament as the Lopes looking to pick up a W on this Sunday afternoon. Looks like Ryan Denhart is ready, Rachel Hathut is ready, and let's do it here in Phoenix. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike, and we are underway. So the Lopes looking to redeem themselves against the Lobos after a tough loss yesterday, 9-3. At the hands of the Lobos as Denhart delivers the 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, misses. It's called strike by the home plate umpire, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Hathut, O'Grady, and Martinez for the Lobos against Ryan Denhart, making her 4th appearance this season, 0-1 in 13 2/3 innings pitched this weekend. Goes with the pitch on the outside corner. Count moves to 1-2. She's allowed 11 hits, 10 runs, 8 of which have been earned, while picking up 8 strikeouts in the process, 5 extra base hits off of Denhart over the past 3 nights. Hathut picking up a hit yesterday in that 9-4 win over the Lopes here inside the GCU softball stadium as the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hathut, of course, driving in a pair of runs in that 4-run 3rd inning that put the Lobos up 7-3. As a 2-2 pitch from Denhart, just off the outside corner, and the count runs full at 3-2. So after quickly getting ahead of Hathut, 0-2, Hathut working the count full. Looking to get on with Cameron O'Grady waiting on deck. Picked up a hit yesterday in the 1st inning. As the payoff pitch, fouled straight back, and we'll do it once more. We saw this from the Lobos yesterday, really working up the pitch count of both Ryan Denhart and Lexi Coons en route to that 9-4 victory. And on the very first batter of the day, a 7-pitch battle between Denhart and Hathut. Hathut just hitting .231 this weekend. As the payoff pitch, ripped in the hole at short. Going to be a tough play for Torvill. She spins, fires, throws to first. Not going to be in time. It's going to be an infield base hit for Rachel Hathut, and she's aboard here in the first, runner on first base. And nobody out, and that'll bring up Cameron O'Grady. Of course, O'Grady going 1 for 4 in that game yesterday.
The shortstop, number 10, Cameron O'Grady.
That's right, Jack. This is definitely not the start of the season that Coach Pearson and her team has been looking for. However, these are very talented teams, NCAA qualifiers. Pitching is going to be tested this afternoon. Ryan Denhart is going to need to step up her game as New Mexico has hit over 6 home runs on the weekend.
And 4 of which coming against the Lopes pitching yesterday, with Bailey Klitsky sending one over the center field wall in that 3rd inning. And, of course, Andrea Howard connecting for 2 solo blasts in that game. Sydney Broderick, the catcher for the Lobos, also getting in on the fun off of Ryan Denhart. It was an 8-pitch at-bat in the bottom half of the 5th inning, which gave New Mexico an 8-3 lead at the time. As Denhart looking to make quick work here of O'Grady. Looking for the first out, 0-2 pitch. Goes up the ladder, trying to get O'Grady to chase. Doesn't get her to bite as the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coach Pearson going with Gianna Nicoletti in left, Mickey Covarubio in center, and Brooke Cantillo over in right. As Kayleigh Dietrich manning the hot corner once more after a few really great defensive stabs last night over there at 3rd base against Weber State. Kristen Fifield in the hole at short as Savannah Torvill moves back over to 2nd base for this Sunday matinee. Taylor Olson at first with Hathut waiting over there on first base. It's a 2-2 count now on O'Grady as she now works the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So back-to-back hitters in this order to start this game against Ryan Denhart, working the count full. And this will be the 13th pitch of the inning for Denhart, still looking for her first out. And the payoff pitch popped in the air. Torvill has it and makes the play for the first out. So there's 1 away here in the top of the 1st. And that'll send the left fielder Brianna Martinez, the freshman for the Lobos, picking up a hit in yesterday's win. Made a tremendous grab on the first pitch of the game here yesterday as Brooke Cantillo was looking for extra bases. An acrobatic grab out there in left center field over the shoulder for Martinez is the first pitch. misses up. Count quickly. 1 ball and no strikes.
Ryan Denhart, pitcher for GCU, is the junior out of Los Alamitos, California. She came to GCU last year after transferring from Maryland.
That pitch misses outside. Throw to first as Bishop behind the dish this afternoon for Coach Pearson, trying to keep Hathud honest over there on first base.
Denhart was named to the All-WAC second team and to the All-WAC tournament team last season.
So that pitch in there for a called strike. Of course, the transfer over from Maryland after her freshman year. Second year with the Lopes. Still looking for her first win, as are the Lopes. 0-5 this weekend, as she went 7 2/3 innings pitched on Thursday night's home opener against Stanford. Ended up giving up 2 earned runs in that top half of the 8th inning to that Cardinal offense, en route to a 3-0 loss. And then, of course, got the start against Weber State on Friday as well, going 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 earned runs. As it'll be a 3-1 pitch here to Martinez. Lobos looking to get something going as that one's cranked in the air to left. Going back is Nicoletti. It's going to be off the netting and over the left field wall. Sayonara, 2-run home run for Brianna Martinez, her first of the year. And just like that, the Lobos once again jumping all over this low pitching, making Ryan Denhart work early on, and it's a 2-0 lead here in Phoenix.
Definitely not the start you want as the Lopes going into the final game of the tournament. 2-run home run. Lobos really putting the pressure on Denhart early.
And a great job there from Martinez, getting ahead of that pitch on the inner part of the plate and hooking it over the left field wall. Nothing that Gianna Nicoletti could do about that one out there in left. So that'll bring up Bailey Klitsky. We mentioned Klitsky with tremendous power, connecting for her first home run of the year yesterday off of Lexi Coons in that 3rd inning, as that one drops in there for a called strike, 0-1. Klitsky also picking up an RBI double. That put New Mexico on the board, 1-0 in the bottom half of the 1st inning yesterday. Going 2 for 3 with a walk, reaching base 3 times, as that one's going to drop there on the inside corner. Call for a ball, count moves to 1-1. Home plate umpire this afternoon is Anita Robinette. First base umpire Dale Wilson, and second base umpire will be Scott Wallace this afternoon. As the 1-1 pitch, just off the inside corner yet again, and the count moves to 2-1. So once again, these Lobos hitters doing an excellent job of working that pitch count for Ryan Denhart early on in this game. Already up to 18 total pitches here in the 1st inning. Still looking for 2 more outs. And the 2-1 delivery. Scoring a bunt is Klitsky as she pulls back. And that'll move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. This is not where you want to be against the powerful hitting Klitsky here. She'll look to drive this 3-1 pitch from Denhart. We'll see what she goes with on 3-1. Comes inside, and it drops in there for a called strike to level the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Andrea Howard waiting on deck. We mentioned Klitsky and Howard going back-to-back in that 3rd inning off of Lexi Coons yesterday, picking up 2 solo home runs, connected for a solo shot off of Ryan Denhart in the bottom half of the 6th inning as that one's cut on and missed. Denhart fooling Klitsky there on the payoff pitch for her first strikeout of the afternoon. There are 2 away. And Howard, of course, coming into this at-bat, hitting .364 on the weekend. Driven in 4 runs for the Lobos. And picking up 2 victories yesterday against the Stanford Cardinal. A 2-0 win. Brianna Sanchez picking up the complete game shutout. Only allowing 2 hits as that one's going to be popped in the air. Going to stay in on the infield. And Kayleigh Dietrich has it for the final out of the top of the 1st, but not before New Mexico gets to Ryan Denhart once more. A 2-run home run from Brianna Martinez, her first of the year. Let's go to the bottom of the 1st. It's New Mexico 2 and the Grand Canyon University Lopes coming to bat.
Well, it's time for the upcoming schedule brought to you by BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. Men's basketball returns home Thursday night to face Kansas City at 6 p.m. Friday the 14th starts baseball season here at GCU, where the Lopes will host an exciting home opener against Oklahoma State at 6 p.m. Pregame starting at 5:30. Also that night, you can catch an exciting men's volleyball matchup where the Lopes will take on the number 2 BYU at 6 p.m. As always, you can catch all of those games right here on GCU TV.
Going to be a very busy Valentine's Day on the 14th, this upcoming Friday here on campus. Of course, women's basketball picking up a win here yesterday in the GCU arena. Jada Holland, 22 points on the day, 6-point win. And of course, the men's team as well out in Riverside this weekend, taking on California Baptist, picking up a big win as well on the road. As GCU softball again looking for their first win of the season. They're going to have to battle back here in the bottom half of the first inning against Kennedy Ferguson, the right-hander for New Mexico. 1-1 so far this weekend. Picked up a loss against the Stanford Cardinal on Friday as she throws that one just a tad bit low and outside. Count 1-0 on Mickey Covarubio. Mickey Covarubio 6 for 12 to start her GCU career this weekend. Picking up a pair of hits again last night against Weber State. Had a double on the gap in that first inning, leading things off, and she drills that one in the air to right field. Going back is Jones. She's at the track, at the wall, and she'll make the play just in front of the warning track for the first out. So Mickey Covarubio putting a charge into that one early off of Ferguson, but we'll head back to the dugout. So one away here in the bottom half of the first inning, and that'll bring up another hot bat for the Lopes early on this season, and Brooke Cantillo came on as a pinch hitter in the bottom half of the seventh inning against Weber State here last night. Picked up a base hit up the middle. Hitting .357 to start. As the first pitch from Ferguson. Down low, count 1-0. Currently has 5 hits in her first 14 at-bats. Has scored 2 runs as well. Still looking for her first run batted in. 1-0 pitch, cut on and missed. Count moves to 1-1. Of course, last night the Lopes with plenty of opportunity in that Weber State game. Had the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom half of the second inning, down by 2. Unable to cash in, and then in the bottom of the 7th, brought the tying run to the plate as well, as that one's cut on and missed. Count moves to 1-2. 2 healthy hacks there from Brooke Cantillo here in the first. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 6-2 game against Ramirez and Weber State. Lily Bishop goes down on strikes. Pinch hitting for Kristen Fifield in that 7th inning. As the 1-2 offering from Ferguson on the outside corner, swing and a miss from Cantillo. She goes down on strikes. She'll take a seat, and there are quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up Savannah Torvill. Looking to get things going here for the Lopes in the first. Looking for a 2-out base runner. Savannah off to a hot start this weekend, hitting .357. Also has herself 5 hits in her first 14 at-bats. Picked up a double here last night. Takes that pitch low. Count moves to 1-0.
Kennedy Ferguson, only a freshman, making her debut this weekend. She comes to us from Camas, Washington, where she was named Columbian Region Player of the Year.
1-0 pitch. Did Torville go? No, says the first base umpire, Dale Wilson. So the count now moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Savannah looking for a pitch to drive here. Ferguson looking to battle back with a strike as she gets the sign from Broderick. Kicks, winds, and delivers the 2-0. On the inside corner, called strike by the home plate umpire, Anita Robinette, and the count moves to 2-1. New Mexico with 2 runs on 2 hits. Again, the 2-run home run off the bat of Brianna Martinez, left fielder for the Lopes in that top half of the first inning off of Ryan Denhart. As that one's popped in the air, should be playable. And it's going to be caught by Ferguson. A little miscommunication there between Ferguson and Tuck. But Ferguson calls off Tuck, makes the play. It's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Kennedy Ferguson. Let's move to the top half of the second here on GCU TV. New Mexico leads it 2-0. You're watching GCU softball here on GCU TV.
Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Ring and cut.
Back inside the GCU softball stadium here for inning number 2 between the Lopes and the Lobos as Denhart gets set to deal with the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the order. For New Mexico, first pitch misses low, count 1-0 on Rayanne Tuck. Tuck looking to get going this season, the freshman, hitting 143. He's only reached base 3 times so far this weekend for the Lobos. Scored a run yesterday in the second inning against Yessie Morrison after reaching base on a walk. It'll be Tuck, Broderick, and Schaffer for New Mexico. Again, trying to add to that 2-0 lead here against Ryan Denhart. Ryan Denhart, of course, looking to eat up some innings here on this Sunday afternoon, making her fourth appearance, on the weekend. We saw Sydney Sahar make her Lopes debut here last night against Weber State, throwing 5 innings, giving up 6 earned runs. As a 2-1 pitch misses low, and Denhart falls behind 3 balls and 1 strike. So Tuck looking to reach base to start the top half of the second inning. I mentioned just 1 hit and 7 at-bats so far this season for Tuck. As the 3-1 pitch on the outside corner, called for a strike, and the count runs full at 3-2. The third full count of this game already for Ryan Denhart, as New Mexico continues to work the count and driving up that pitch count for Ryan, up to 25 total pitches here in the second. Still looking for her first out, and she's going to get it via a swinging strikeout from Rayanne Tuck. So she'll head back to the dugout, 1 away, and that'll bring up Sydney Broderick, who took Ryan Denhart deep here last night over the left field wall. It was an 8-pitch battle. Another 3-2 count came with the heater on the inside corner, and Broderick was able to turn on it quickly and send it over the left field wall. It was her first home run of the season. Has 2 hits in her first 6 at-bats for a .333 batting average. Takes the ball outside, count quickly 1-0. Sun not playing a factor in this one. We saw the Sun play a big factor in yesterday's game between New Mexico and Grand Canyon.
The wind is playing a factor, though, slightly to the left, giving those righties a possible advantage.
Of course, we saw that advantage in the the top half of the first inning. Brano Martinez launching one over the left field wall. And in yesterday's game, of course, the Sun and the Shadows both playing a huge factor in this one, as the 2-0 pitch misses a bit outside. Count moves to 3-0. The bottom half of the third inning, the Lopes down 5-3. Rachel Hathut lifted one in the air to right field. Brooke Cantillo unable to snag it in right field, allowing 2 more runs to score. That made it a 7-3 game at the time. And then later on in the game, Sydney Broderick herself, as she's going to work a 4-pitch walk here against Denhart, wasn't able to snag one behind the plate, a pop-up in foul territory that she let drop, giving Taylor Olson a second life in the bottom half of the 6th inning. As that'll bring up Javan Schaffer, the freshman out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, still looking for her first hit this season. Hitless in her first 10 at-bats. She does have an RBI, has scored a run as well.
Second baseman, number 22, Javan Schaffer.
New Mexico obviously not giving in here to Ryan Denhart, not helping her out in the batter's box. Making Denhart throw strikes early. First pitch is going to be bunted right back to Denhart. Throw to first, going to be close, and it's going to be an out at first base. So a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt for Schaffer. She'll head back to the dugout. Still hitless this season, but she does the job for her offense as she puts her runner in scoring position. Broderick moves up to second with two away now.
Right fielder, number 9, Taylor.
And that'll bring up Taylor Jones, who only had one at-bat in that 9-4 win here yesterday afternoon. Struck out against Denhart in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Swings through that heater, and the count moves to no balls and 1 strike. Jones hitless in 4 at-bats so far this season in limited playing time. Would love to make an impact here for the Lobos with 2 outs, trying to make this a 3-run game. That pitch misses outside, and the count levels at a ball and a strike.
Denhart was named preseason pitcher of the year for the Western Athletic Conference, so looking to see what she's going to do today on the mound and how she's going to get out of these sticky situations.
1-1 pitch. This is a tad bit outside as the count moves to 2-1. Infield playing straight away here for Taylor Jones. Trying to pass the baton over to Rachel Hathut, waiting on decks, giving Denhart problems so far in this one, as that one's going to be popped in the air. Torvill has it, makes the play, and that'll do it here in the 2nd inning. So a bounce back top half of the 2nd for Ryan Denhart as she leaves one runner stranded in scoring position at second base. That's Broderick. And we'll head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. New Mexico still leads this one by a score of 2-0 as the fans here in the GCU softball stadium look to get going. They're showing off their low pride, and how else can people show off their low pride going into spring semester, Montana?
Well, Jack, you can get the best gear to show off your low pride by going to lobeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel and always the coolest accessories. If you use the promo code GCUTV25, you can get 25% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up.
And again, that promo code is capital GCUTV25 for 25% off your next order at the Lope Shop. You could also use that promo code for GCBC online as well. So a 2-for-1 special for you today as the Lopes again looking to even the score up at 2, down by 2, 2-0 Lobos. As Kennedy Ferguson looks to match her bottom half of the 1st inning, only allowing a 2-out walk to Savannah Torvill. On a 1-2-3 frame in that 1st inning, and she'll deal with the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the order for the purple and white, as it'll start with Kayleigh Holland. Holland, of course,
The designated player.
looking to get going here this weekend, only hitting a .133 to start the season. Just 2 hits in her first 15 at-bats. Does have 3 RBIs. Drove in another run here last night as that one is in there for a strike. Paints the outside corner. The count's 0-1. It'll be Holland, Nicoletti, and Fifield for the Lopes. Again, the first 3 hitters in that lineup, Covarubio, Cantillo, and Torvill, all hitting well over 300 this weekend. We're unable to figure out Ferguson in the bottom half of the 1st inning as the count moves to 1-1 on Holland. Kayleigh Holland having a bit of a scare on opening night, as we've mentioned over the past few days. A collision at home plate in that top half of the 8th inning. Was able to stay in the game. Had that bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning as well, as the 1-1 pitch drops in there low, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-1 pitch, misses low, and it's going to be called for a strike by the home plate umpire, Robinette. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So after falling behind 2-1, Ferguson battles back. See what the sign is from Broderick as she kicks, winds, and delivers the pitch. Popped in the air. Stay on the infield as O'Grady makes the play. So 1 away, 4 up, 4 down for Ferguson so far in this one, looking to pick up her second win of the year. And that'll bring up Gianna Nicoletti. And Nicoletti hitting .286 so far this season, notoriously known for being a slap hitter in this lineup for Coach Pearson. Sliced one into left last night against Weber State for a base hit. Two hits and 7 at-bats, now has herself 3 hits and 8 at-bats as she laces that one into center field past Schaffer over there at second base. And the Lopes have themselves their first base runner as well as their first base hit here on this Sunday afternoon. And that'll bring up the tying run in Kristen Fifield, who's still looking for her first hit as a Lope.
Your shortstop.
Got the start in the nightcap of the doubleheader here last night against Weber State. As the first pitch is popped in the air foul, and the count quickly 0-1, being aggressive here early on against Ferguson. Ferguson's only thrown 16 pitches to this point through an inning and a third. Jones playing Fifield about 3 steps over to her left out there in right field. As that one's going to be sliced foul. The count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So Ferguson getting ahead of these Lopes hitters early on, which has been a recipe for success for opponent pitching so far against this Lopes offense here this weekend. Oh, 2 delivery, 1 out. Misses up. Count moves to 1-2. Again, Nicoletti with great speed over there on first base. As Fifield looks to find the gap here. Again, Jones playing about 3 feet to her left here as that right field line wide open for Fifield if she can hook one down the line. As a 1-2 pitch on the corner. Just misses a bit outside. Ferguson looking for the call from the home plate umpire, Robinette. Doesn't get it, and the count moves to 2-2. Lily Bishop waiting on deck. The Lopes would love to get her to the plate as the go-ahead run if Fifield can get on, as the 2-2 delivery is sliced down the left field line, but it's going to slice into the Lopes bullpen and out of play. So we'll do it again on 2-2 as Kristen Fifield continues to put up a quality at-bat here against Ferguson. It'll be the 6th pitch of the at-bat. Nicoletti looking to get a good jump over there on first base as that pitch misses up and in, and Fifield continues to battle here against Ferguson as the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a big pitch in this inning coming from Ferguson, not wanting to put 2 runners on base for Bishop waiting on deck. As the payoff pitch popped in the air, center field should be an easy put out for Howard, who's under it, makes the play. Moving back to first is Nicoletti, and there's 2 away here in the bottom half of the second inning. Ferguson looking for back-to-back scoreless innings of work here on this Sunday afternoon. And that'll bring up Lily Bishop as the tying run. Of course, we mentioned Lily Bishop here last night with an opportunity to tie things up at 6 with 1 swing against Weber State. Pinched hit for Kristen Fifield in that bottom half of the 7th inning with 2 outs. Struck out to end the ball game.
Lily Bishop is the junior from Riverside, California. She's a transfer from North Carolina State, where she spent her freshman season and came to GCU her sophomore year, where she played 49 games, 39 starts for the Lopes.
Takes that pitch low as the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. Lily, of course, with 4 home runs a season ago in her sophomore campaign. Hitting just under 100 to start this season, however, with just 1 hit on the season. Swings through that pitch, another healthy hack, just a little bit out in front on that pitch on the inner part of the plate as the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Just 1 hit in her first 12 at-bats this season. Has yet to score a run, was hit by a pitch yesterday. As that pitch misses low and inside, and the count moves to 3-1.
And last season, she was actually ranked 2nd in hit by pitch with 9 to tie 8th in the GCU record book. So she's prone to getting hit by these pitches. Pretty interesting.
Again, we'll see if they go inside on 3-1. They do, and the pitch misses low, and the Lopes are in business here in the bottom half of the second inning. Runners on first and second with 2 away, and that'll bring up Kayleigh Dietrich, as it looks like Broderick wants to talk things over on the circle with Ferguson.
These opportunities are where the Lopes are really going to need to take advantage. This is how they have struggled all weekend long. They've had runners on base that have just been left.
Third baseman, number 5, Kayleigh.
And it's going to be up to Kayleigh Dietrich. Dietrich up with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom half of the second inning last night against Weber State. Went down looking, as Ramirez was able to deal with a fastball in the outer part of the plate on a 2-2 count. That one drops in there on the outside corner for a strike, and the count quickly 0-1 on Dietrich. Currently hitting .200 this weekend, just 2 hits in her first 10 at-bats. That pitch is ripped in the air, deep left center field, going back is Howard. And she's going to make the play again. A little miscommunication there on the warning track out there in left center between Howard and Martinez. But New Mexico able to come away with the final out. Definitely would have scored 2 there if it found the grass. But another tremendous play by Andrea Howard out there in center field. Kayleigh Dietrich gave it a ride, but nothing to show for it as we'll head to inning number 3 here in Phoenix. Still a 2-0 lead for New Mexico. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
Came through drippin', came through drippin', came through drippin', diamonds on my wrist, they drippin', ice. Came through drippin', came through drippin'.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
It came time to look for master's degrees when I first learned about Grand Canyon. I think as teachers and coaches, you're never done learning. Being a mentor is one of the most important things in my life. For me, it's not always about winning, it's about instilling things in my students and my athletes that'll carry them on. And I'm confident to say that I wouldn't be the same teacher or coach that I am today without that experience at GCU. I'm Joseph, and I graduated with a master's degree online from GCU.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Bossy, bossy. Just looking at my kids like I'm bossy. Is it?
Inning number 3 here in Phoenix, Arizona, between the Lopes and the Lobos. 2-0 lead for New Mexico State. As
Third baseman, Rachel Hatton.
Ryan Denhart will deal with the top third of the order once again for the second time in this game. It'll be Rachel Hathut leading things off. First pitch misses outside, count 1-0. It'll be Hathut, O'Grady, and Martinez. Hathut 1 for 1 already against Denhart, picking up a single to lead this one off. Came around to score on the 2-run shot from Brianna Martinez. There's that one. Clips the outside corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And as you mentioned in the bottom half of the second inning, Montana, the Lopes continue to leave runners on base, runners in scoring position as well. Kayleigh Dietrich gave that one a ride, but nothing to show for it on the warning track in left center field. Great play made by Andrea Howard, almost collided with Brianna Martinez. Would have scored at least 2 for the Lopes if that one was able to fall. As the 2-1 delivery from Denhart. It's ripped to second. Torvill has it. Throws to first for the 4-3 putout. 1 away here in the third, and that'll bring up Cameron O'Grady. Looking for a first hit against Denhart in this tournament. Of course, 1 for 4 here in that 9-4 win over the Lopes here.
Shortstop, Cameron
Yeah,
O'Grady.
top of the lineup coming up for the Lobos.
First pitch ripped up the middle. Great snag there from Ryan Denhart. And little to no reaction time for Ryan Denhart. They're able to snag that one from O'Grady as that one was ticketed for center field. But quickly 2 away. 2 up, 2 down here for Ryan Denhart. Now she'll try and solve Brianna Martinez Of course, took her for a ride in the top half of the first inning. Responsible for the 2 runs on the board so far for New Mexico with a 2-run shot over the left field wall. That pitch clips the outside corner. Count quickly 0-1 on Martinez, now hitting .273. 3 hits in 11 at-bats. Picked up her second and third RBI of the weekend on that 2-run shot back in the first. And to Brianna Martinez's credit, has worked 5 walks so far here in 11 at-bats this season. As she lays off that pitch to even up the count at a ball and a strike. One pitch, misses low. Count moves to 2-1. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Lopes in the bottom half of the third against Ferguson. Still trying to figure out the Lobos right-hander. Taylor Olson, Mickey Cavarubio, and Brooke Cantillo. All still looking for their first hit in this one as a 2-1 pitch on the outside corner. The count moves to 2-2. So Ryan Denhart looking for her first 1-2-3 inning in this one, up to 43 pitches now.
Lobos really working the count, putting the pressure on Denhart.
And the 2-2 delivery is going to be taken outside. The count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 4th full count now on Ryan Denhart in this game, as Martinez looking for a 2-out base runner, trying to get Bailey Klitsky back to the plate. With 1 swing can make this a 4-run deficit for the Lopes. Again, Klitsky with 2 home runs on the weekend already for the Lobos, as that one's ripped through the hole. Past 5 field and into left field for a base hit. So Martinez has Denhart's number early on in this one on this Sunday afternoon. 2-run shot back in the first and a base hit to left here in the third. And that'll bring up Klitsky with 2 outs and a runner on first base. And Bailey Klitsky, of course, 0 for 1 so far in this game. Struck out swinging against Ryan Denhart back in the first. However, of course, we mentioned that power. 3 hits in her first 12 at-bats this season, with a homer and 2 RBIs. She has walked 3 times, 2 extra base hits so far. There's that pitch. Inside, throw down to second by Bishop is going to get away from 5 field. Moving from second to third is Martinez. Great heads-up play there from Brianna Martinez. As she slides in head first at second base, sees that the ball trickled into left field, gets up and swipes third base. So a base hit will make this a 3-0 New Mexico lead if Klitsky is able to connect here against Denhart.
Big mistake there by Savannah Torvill. Miscommunication, which is really going to cost the Lopes. And as of now, the Lopes really can't afford to be making these type of mistakes.
Tough throw there from Lily Bishop, again making her first appearance behind the plate this weekend. As that pitch misses inside, count moves to 2-0 on Klitsky, and Ryan Denhart's going to have to be careful here on this 2-0 pitch, as Dietrich playing in at the bag at third. Outfield playing fairly deep for Klitsky. As the 2-0 delivery in there for a strike, and the count moves to 2-1. So Klitsky taking all the way there on 2-0 with that pitch right over the heart of the plate. First base is open for Denhart. Again, not wanting to give in to Klitsky here. As the 2-1 pitch drops in there for a called strike. So after falling behind in the count 2-0, Denhart able to battle back, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes here against Klitsky. This will be her 50th pitch of the afternoon here in the third inning, through 2 2/3 innings pitched. Martinez looking to score from third. 2-2 pitch to Klitsky. On the outside corner, not going to be called there by the home plate umpire, Anita Robinette. And the count runs full at 3-2. So second full count of this inning for Ryan Denhart, the 5th overall in this Lobos lineup here this afternoon, as they continue to work the count against Ryan Denhart. This will be pitch number 51 on this payoff pitch to Klitsky. And it's chopped foul, and we'll do it again, another 7-pitch battle.
And something tough about these tournaments is that there's so many games, you don't have a lot of pitching to give by. So really working these counts, really putting some hurt on Ryan Denhart.
Of course, again, like we mentioned, this is Ryan Denhart's 4th appearance of the weekend, 2nd against the Lobos. Pitched in 2 innings yesterday after relieving Lexi Coons, as that one's going to be chopped foul once again, and we'll have an 8-pitch battle at the very least between Ryan Denhart and Bailey Klitsky. Again, Ryan Denhart was looking for a first 1-2-3 inning in this one. Couldn't retire Brianna Martinez, who laced a base hit into left field. Was able to swipe second base as Lily Bishop's throw was deflected by Kristen Fifield into left field, allowing Martinez to move over to third base. And after an 8-pitch battle with Ryan Denhart, Klitsky takes that pitch outside, and the Lobos now have runners on the corners with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the very dangerous Andrea Howard, who did pick up those 2 solo home runs yesterday, hitting .250 on the season.
Not the hitter you want batting right now if you are the Lopes. 2 runners on base with a power bat coming up. Ryan Denhart in bit of a situation.
As that pitch is ripped in the air to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is foul. A long strike, number 1 for Andrea Howard. Barreling up that inside pitch, getting ahead of it and hooking it down the right field line. Again, inches away from giving New Mexico a 5-run advantage here in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll see what Ryan Denhart goes with on 0-1 here. May want to think about going outside here on this pitch to Howard. And she does. Clips the outside corner. The count moves to 0 balls and 2 strikes. So Howard looking to make it 3 home runs total on the weekend against Lopes pitching alone. Remember, Howard took Denhart deep over the right field wall in the bottom half of the 6th inning here yesterday to make it a then 9-3 lead for New Mexico. Denhart looking to retire the side here as the 0-2 pitch misses up and away. Count moves to 1-2. Pitch count now up to 60 for Ryan Denhart.
This isn't really like Denhart to give up 2 walks in just 2 innings.
As the 1-2 pitch laced to short. Fifield has it, throws across the diamond for the final out, and Ryan Denhart is able to work herself into and out of trouble here in the top of the 3rd inning as New Mexico leaves runners stranded on 1st and 3rd. And the Lopes again will send their 9 1-2 hitters to the plate in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. New Mexico still leads this one by a score of 2-0 here in Phoenix.
Well, the Ethington Theater presents a modern take on the Shakespeare classic, The Tempest. It's filled with explosive drama and vengeance. This sinister play centers around a magical storm which leaves passengers shipwrecked on a tropical island. Get your tickets now at the Ethington Theater box office.
And of course, that started 2 days ago, Friday night. As it finishes up here this weekend, it'll bleed into next weekend as well, the 14th through the 16th. And you can get your tickets, of course, at the GCU Arena. And students will get in free if you use your GCU ID. So that's a massive coup for students here on campus as we head into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 9 1-2 for the Lopes. Olsen, Covarubio, and Cantillo as we take another look here at the final out. Runners on the corners for the Lobos. As Andrea Howard able to get ahead of that pitch from Ryan Denhart and chop it over to short for Fifield, who's able to make the final 6-3 putout for the Lopes, making this a 2-0 game for the Lobos as that first pitch misses low to Olsen. Count 1-0. And Taylor Olsen, of course, still looking for her first hit. Came into the day yesterday 0 for her first 8. Went 0 for 3 in both games yesterday. And she is 0 for 11 on the season. Count moves to 2-0 as that pitch misses inside. She scored 1 run in the 7-6 walk-off loss against Weber State on Friday night after reaching on a walk. As the 2-0 delivery from Ferguson misses outside, the count moves quickly now to 3 balls and no strikes as Broderick wants to talk things over with Ferguson, not wanting to allow a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 3rd. Again, Kennedy Ferguson with 2 scoreless innings in the first 2 innings, a 1-2-3 first inning. against this Lopes offense. Lopes left 2 runners on. First and second with 2 outs in the bottom half of the second inning. Kayleigh Dietrich flying out to the warning track in left center field. As Taylor Olson looks to get on, takes that pitch up, a 4-pitch walk to start the bottom half of the third inning. And this is a situation where the Lopes are going to have to, again, not give in to Ferguson here, not give her any strikes, not chase anything out of the zone, wait until she throws a strike here, as she seems to have lost the strike zone at least against Taylor Olson here to start the bottom half of the third inning. So it'll be Mickey Covarubio. Second go around for Mickey after flying out deep to right back in the bottom of the first inning. Again, has had a phenomenal weekend here in Phoenix in her Lopes debut. 6 hits in her first 13 at-bats, almost connected for her first home run in her last at-bat, flying out to the warning track as Jones was able to snag it right in front of the wall. As Olson looking to get a jump off of first base, 1-0 pitch, misses low. 6 consecutive balls now for Kennedy Ferguson. She's allowed 3 walks so far this season, has allowed 2 so far here today, as the pitching coach is going to come out for the Lobos and talk things over with a right-hander who has all of a sudden seemed to have lost control of the strike zone. And again, if you're the Lopes here, Montana, you can't give in, can't give her any strikes. You got to wait until she throws at least 1 strike in this at-bat if you're Mickey Covarubio. Doesn't matter how hot you've been so far this season. 2-0 pitch here, you know you got to drive it here. You know you got to know if you're Mickey Covarubio that you can drive this pitch on 2-0 if you're going to swing. And after talking things over with the pitching coach, Ferguson seems to be back on the same page as Broderick. We'll see what she goes with here on 2-0 to Covarubio. And still looking for a first home run. Does have a triple. Picked up an RBI triple in the bottom of the third against the Lobos to make this a 3-3 game yesterday afternoon. Swings at that pitch, slices it down the left field line, but it's going to slice foul, and the count moves to 2-1. So Ferguson comes after Covarubio with a strike on the outer part of the plate. Covarubio waits back, tries to slice that one down the left field line looking for extra bases, but it lands foul, so we'll see what she comes back here on 2-1. Trying to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes after falling behind 2-0. As a 2-1 pitch, lofted in the air to right field as Covarubio gets underneath it. Jones has it for the first out. Moving back to first is Olson, and there's 1 away. So Ferguson bounces back after the mound visit from the pitching coach. And that'll bring up Brooke Cantillo, trying to move a runner into scoring position. So Mickey Covarubio getting under 2 pitches now on the inner part of the plate from Ferguson in her first 2 at-bats. The first one traveling a little bit farther as she pops that one up in the air to shallow right field here in the third. As that pitch to Cantillo, lofted in the air to center field. Right there is Howard. So first pitch swinging is Brooke Cantillo, and she's now 0 for 2 in this one.
Seems to be the pattern going on. Lots of pop flies. Could be a factor of the wind that's going on.
Second baseman, Savannah Torvill.
And that'll bring up Savannah Torvill now as the tying run for the Lopes. And she went 0 for 1 in the first inning as she popped one in the air. It was Ferguson and Tuck who had a little bit of miscommunication in that first inning, but Ferguson was able to make the grab to secure the final out in a 1-2-3 inning in that first inning as that first pitch was fouled off by Torvill. Average down to 333. Came into the day hitting 357 before that first at-bat as the 0-1 delivery from Ferguson misses low and away, and the count moves to 1-1. Lopes have left 2 runners on base, as we mentioned, 2 runners last inning. As Kayleigh Dietrich flew out to the warning track. Olson with a leadoff walk here in the bottom half of the third inning as the Lopes look to avoid leaving her stranded. As a 1-1 pitch in the hole, going to be a tough play for O'Grady. She's not going to make it as it trickles into left field for a base hit. So Savannah Torvill now 1 for 2 on the day. Picks up her 6th hit of the weekend, and the Lopes will bring the go-ahead run to the plate. And Kaylee Holland with runners on first and second and 2 outs.
The designated player.
This is a big at-bat for Kayleigh Holland in for the Lopes.
As you take another look here on the replay, base hit, 6th of the year for Savannah Torvill. Would have been a tough play regardless for Cameron O'Grady in the hole there at shortstop. Probably wouldn't have made the play as that one's going to be poked out in the air to center field. First pitch swinging is Holland as Howard puts it away for the final out. So the Lopes leave 2 more stranded. They've left 4 stranded in the first 3 innings of play here as we move to inning number 4. It's 2-0 New Mexico. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
Why choose Sanderson Ford?
Straight up offers like these.
Now through President's Day, escape to a D-backs game and a new Escape for only $18,900. Lease one for only $259 a month. Save $10,000 on all 2019 F-150 Super Cruise. Get 2 Arizona Diamondback tickets just for coming in.
Plus, they support local sports and donate generously to local charities.
If it's important to you to do business with someone who supports our community,
choose Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders, you're giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Back here inside the GCU softball stadium as the Lopes continue to struggle offensively. It's unable to capitalize on some big situations we saw last night, leaving the bases loaded on 2 different occasions in that 2nd inning and the 7th inning against Weber State. And so far here this afternoon against Kennedy Ferguson, leaving 2 runners aboard in the bottom half of the 2nd and 2 runners aboard in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. That is, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up against Ryan Denhart, starting with Rayanne Tuck and then Sydney Broderick on deck. And Tuck, of course, striking out swinging in her first plate appearance against Ryan Denhart in this one. And the first pitch from Denhart misses low in the zone. Count moves to 1-0. Of course, last inning, the Lopes getting something going against Kennedy Ferguson with Taylor Olson working the count. 4-pitch walk to start that bottom of the 3rd inning as that pitch is cut on and missed by Tuck, and the count moves to 1-1. And Mickey Cavarubio working the count to 2-0 before Ferguson was able to battle back, getting her to pop up to right field. Brooke Cantillo swinging at a first pitch heater over the heart of the plate as well, popping things up to center field to make it 2 outs and a runner on first base before Savannah Torvill was able to find the hole in left field to put runners on first and second. But of course, Kayleigh Holland trying to make something happen. First pitch swinging, skied one in the air to center field to end that threat as that pitch is cut on and missed. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Denhart, of course, up to 65 total pitches now, has allowed 2 walks while picking up 2 strikeouts this afternoon against the Lobos. As the 2-2 pitch, skied in the air, and we'll do it one more time. A 6-pitch battle between Denhart and Tuck here to lead things off in the top half of the 4th inning. That's a 2-2 pitch, cut on and fouled straight back by Tuck yet again. So Tuck may be chasing one out of the zone on that last pitch, up and outside by Ryan Denhart as he's able to swat that one back. A 7-pitch battle now between Denhart and Tuck as they continue to drive Denhart's pitch count up here in the 4th inning. There's a 2-2 pitch, fouled straight back yet again by Tuck. Again, Tuck hitting 125 on the season. Just 1 for her first 8 this weekend in Phoenix.
This is really her debut as she is a freshman. Their season has just started.
That's a 2-2 pitch. Denhart trying to fool Tuck there as she won't get her to chase low and in the dirt, and the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 7th full count of the day for Ryan Denhart. This will be pitch number 68. Has a 3-2 pitch, skied in the air, right field. Right there is Jaden Reed for the putout, and there is one away.
Ryan Denhart really relies on the rest of the fielders in situations like this when they're really trying to work the count. She depends on her team.
Of course, Jaden Reed making that play coming into this game in right field. And that'll bring up Sydney Broderick, who picked up a walk in her first go-around against Ryan Denhart. Takes that one outside, count 1-0. Broderick with 2 home runs, 2 runs batted in on the season. Has caught each and every inning so far this weekend for the New Mexico Lobos. Looking to make it a complete weekend with a win here this afternoon against the Lopes. Fouls that one straight back to even up the count on a ball and a strike. Lopes will send Gianna Nicoletti, Kristen Fifield, and Lily Bishop to the plate against Kennedy Ferguson in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Just trying to get a run across the board here on this Sunday afternoon, trying to avoid going 0-6 to start the season. So count moves to 2-1 now on Broderick.
It's interesting to see the Lobos' performance so far this weekend, as last season they finished last in their conference for the 2nd year in a row. So it seems like they have a different team, different style this year.
Pitch misses low, count moves to 3-1. And of course, Montana, they started 0-2 this weekend against Stanford and Weber State. Picked up 2 wins, a 2-0 win. We mentioned the complete game shutout from Brianna Sanchez before picking up a 9-4 win over the Lopes yesterday, as they look for their 3rd win. That pitch is going to be in there for a called strike. Broderick looking to move over to first base with a 5-pitch walk there. Anita Robinette, the home plate umpire, had other plans as she calls that one strike 2 on the outer part of the plate, and it'll be another full count here for Ryan Denhart. 2nd of the inning, back-to-back hitters, 8th of the afternoon now, as the payoff pitch to Broderick on the outside corner misses, and Broderick reaches with a 1-out walk. Almost an identical pitch there from Ryan Denhart on the outside corner, trying to paint that outer part of the plate. Doesn't get the call from Anita Robinette. As you take another look here, just misses outside, as that'll bring up Schaffer here. Picked up a sacrifice bunt, moving runners over, or moving Broderick over to second base with 2 outs in the top half of the 2nd inning. New Mexico unable to cash in as that pitch misses up and away, count 1-0. Schaffer, of course, still looking for her first hit, 0 for her first 10 this season. Outfield playing fairly deep for Schaffer in this at-bat, with Gianna Nicoletti playing just in front of the warning track as that one is sliced the other way, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And despite those 2 runs in the first, the 2-run shot from Brianna Martinez, Ryan Denhart has been able to battle here against this New Mexico offense. As it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Sydney Broderick over there on first base, adding plenty of more speed over there for the Lobos. As a 1-1 pitch, ripped to third off the glove of Dietrich, and everybody's going to be safe. Again, little to no reaction time over there at third base for Kayleigh Dietrich. They don't call it the hot corner for nothing, as she tried to snag that one off the edge of her mitten. The Lobos again now in business once again with less than 2 outs. Runners on first and second, as we'll have a meeting on the circle between Ryan Denhart and the rest of the Lopes infield.
Once again, those mistakes can be potentially game changers when it comes down to it. This is really where the Lopes have struggled all weekend long, coming off of 5 losses going into today's game.
Of course, would have been a tough play regardless there for Kayleigh Dietrich, as Schaffer picks up a hit. I believe they're going to call it an E5 on Dietrich. With runners on first and second will be Hernandez, the pinch runner. Pinch running for Broderick over there on second base. Schaffer on first as that pitch drops in there low. Count 1-0 now on Taylor Jones. Also 0 for 1 in this game. Popped up to Savannah Torvill at second base to end that threat in the top half of the second inning for the Lobos. Trying to cash in here with runners on first and second. That pitch in there on the inside corner, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And a base hit could potentially make this a 3-run game for New Mexico with the speed of Jennifer Hernandez over there on second base. Outfield again still playing fairly deep as that one's going to be bunted. A beautiful bunt there as it's going to be a 1-4 putout for the Lopes with Denhart firing that one to Torvill, covering with Taylor Olson coming in for the bunt. But a perfectly executed bunt as you take another look here. Taylor Jones doing the job for that Lobos offense as there's now runners on second and third with 2 outs, and a single will definitely make this a 4-run game for New Mexico if Rachel Hathut is able to cash in. Already 1 for 2 on the day against Ryan Denhart, picking up that single in the first, getting things going for the offense. Grounded out softly to Savannah Torvill in her last at-bat as that pitch clips the outside corner, and the count quickly, no balls and 1 strike for Ryan Denhart. Pitch count now up to 82 pitches in this one as she looks to complete 4 innings of work. As the Lopes look to get someone going in their bullpen. As the 0-1 delivery to Hathut misses low and away. Count moves to 1-1. Hathut's average now up to 267 with that base hit in the first inning. Has herself 1 home run on the season as well, coming against Stanford. As the 1-1 delivery from Denhart. It's going to miss low, and she falls behind 2 balls and 1 strike. A very dangerous at-bat here with Rachel Hathut. Has had Ryan Denhart's number this weekend, picking up a hit yesterday as well. You do have the 0 for 2 O'Grady waiting on deck with first base open. As the 2-1 delivery. Chopped foul on the third base side as Hathut way ahead of that pitch on the inner part of the plate, and the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see what Denhart goes with here. Has a pitch to spoil here with 2 balls in the count. Gonna get, or at least attempt to get Rachel Hathut to chase here. We'll see if she goes up in the zone or if she tries to get Hathut to bite low and away. As she gets the sign from Bishop. Kicks, winds, and delivers on the outside corner. Going to be fouled straight back by Hathut, and we'll do it once more. Another 6-pitch at-bat here between a Lobos hitter and Ryan Denhart. As her pitch count approaches 90 in this one. An ERA currently sitting at 5.19 for Denhart so far this weekend, as that one's going to be cut on and missed. A big strikeout for Ryan Denhart as the Lobos once again strand 2 more base runners against the Lopes right-hander, as we'll head into the bottom half of the 4th inning with New Mexico still leading this one by a score of 2-0.
Well, the Lope Shop is proud to carry products from GCBC, the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Enjoy this tasty line of coffee, tea, and energy drinks from GCU in the comfort of your own home. Now available on lopeshops.gcu.edu/GCBC. And as always, you can use our promo code GCUTV25 to get 25% off just for watching our streams.
And of course, that promo code again is capital GCUTV25. Now available online at lopeshop.gcu.edu/GCBC as Ryan Denhart able to work herself out of trouble here as we take another look. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Payoff pitch right there. Getting Hathut swinging as we head to the bottom half of the 4th. Again, 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Lopes, trying to crack the code that is Kennedy Ferguson so far in this one. 3 innings pitched, has only allowed 2 hits as the Lopes have stranded 4 base runners in each of the past 2 innings against Kennedy Ferguson. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. We're unable to cash in back in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and runners on first and second and 2 outs last inning as well. Another fly out to the center fielder, Andrea Howard, as Gianna Nicoletti will dig in. 1 for 1, laced a single up the middle in her last at-bat. Takes that one over the heart of the plate for a strike, and the count moves to 0-1. That'll be Nicoletti, Byfield, and Bishop.
The Lopes work themselves out of a jam in the top of the fourth, but let's see if they can get their offense going here and get some momentum.
That's the 0-1 pitch, ripped to second, but right there is Schaffer. 2 pitches and 1 out for Kennedy Ferguson, and that'll bring up Kristen Fifield, who again still looking for her first hit in a Lopes uniform this weekend, 0 for 1 today.
The shortstop, number 20.
Flew out to center in her last at-bat. Already 4 putouts in this one from Andrea Howard out there in center field. New Mexico's outfield playing about straight away here. Fifield squares to bunt, pulls back, count quickly 1-0 as Ferguson trying to paint the outside corner against the Lopes' left-handed bat. Again, all it takes is a bloop and a blast here for the Lopes to get right back in this game, with the powerful hitting Lily Bishop waiting on deck. 1-0 pitch, ripped right to first, and Tuck has it, steps on the bag. 4 pitches, 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth for Kennedy Ferguson. The Lopes hitting it right on the screws, but nothing to show for it as Nicoletti hits it right at Schaffer for out number 1, and as you can see here on the replay, Fifield hitting that one right to Tuck over there at first base for the unassisted putout. So with 2 away, that'll bring up Lily Bishop.
Couldn't have had it any easier if you were Tuck right there. Really easy play for her.
And a great hop as well. Bishop walked in her first at-bat. Skies that one out of play. Lucky souvenir here in the GCU softball stadium as the count quickly 0-1. Again, just 1 hit for Bishop so far this season. That came on Thursday on opening night against the Stanford Cardinal. And Maddie Dwyer, who pitched 7 2/3 innings of shutout ball in that game against this Lopes offense. Maddie Dwyer having an excellent tournament for the Stanford Cardinal, picking up 2 wins this weekend. Going the distance 3 times in 3 outings. That hit for Lily Bishop came in the bottom half of the 3rd inning of that game on opening night. Down the left field line, one of the 3 hits for the Lopes. As she rips that one in the air, deep left center. Going back is Martinez. There it goes. Sayonara. Solo home run for Lily Bishop. We mentioned all weekend she had 4 last season, picks up her first this season, and the Lopes cut the lead in half. New Mexico leads at 2-1. And you know, Lily Bishop wanted that one as we take a look here on the replay. As Ferguson hangs that one over the heart of the plate, and Lily Bishop deposits it in over the left field wall as Martinez can only turn and watch as the Lopes cut the lead to 1. 2-1 lead now for New Mexico. Second hit of the year for Lily Bishop as Kayleigh Dietrich digs in now, of course, 0 for 1, looking to get her average over 200. Put a charge into 1 in her last at-bat as she takes that first pitch low for a ball, 1-0.
Definitely a much-needed score for the Lopes.
It'll be a 1-0 offering here to Dietrich. Lifts that one in the air. Sky high, going to be a tough play for Hathut as O'Grady calls her off in shallow left field. Makes the grab for the final out here in the 4th, but not before the Lopes score 1 run on 1 hit. A big blow off the bat of Lily Bishop, depositing one over the left center field wall, her first home run of the year. Let's head to the 5th here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a 2-1 lead for New Mexico. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
To the next level. Guys, I think I've got an idea. Whoa. They ain't gonna get any better than that.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Back here on GCU TV for inning number 5 on this Sunday afternoon between the Lopes and the Lobos. Ryan Denhart back out there on the mound after getting herself into and out of trouble in the top half of the 4th inning. The Lopes offense coming to life just a little bit in the bottom of the 4th against Kennedy Ferguson. A 2-out solo home run from Lily Bishop, her first of the year. Second long ball of the year for the Lopes after Olivia Zufelt picked up a solo shot here last night.
Well, these long balls have definitely made a difference for both teams, one for each. New Mexico and Grand Canyon. New Mexico hitters have shown a lot of bat discipline, working deep into Denhart's counts, but looking to see looks like a little bit of difficulty going on with Ryan Denhart, looking to get things fixed up as we head into the next inning.
Training staff working on Denhart. Looked like it could have been a bloody nose. Warming up out there on the circle here in the top half of the 5th inning as she'll deal with the heart of the order for New Mexico as she trots on back out there for her 5th inning of work.
Smiling it off with her teammates. Love to see the happiness that these girls share on the field. That's something super special about the softball team, is the bond that they have and how much just fun they have doing what they love.
Throw a few more extra warm-up tosses here as well before she deals with Cameron O'Grady, Brianna Martinez, and Bailey Klitsky here in the 5th, trying to keep this a 1-run game for the Lopes after picking up that 1 run in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Again, still looking for their first win this weekend. Of course, we mentioned Jaden Reed coming into this game for Brooke Cantillo in right field last inning. She'll now move over to left field, with Gianna Nicoletti moving over from left to right. As the first pitch to O'Grady, in there for a called strike, count 0-1. Denhart up to 87 pitches here in the 5th inning. Drops that one in there for a called strike, and the count quickly 0-2. The Lopes would love to see a 1-2-3 inning here against the heart of this Lobos order. Down by 1 as they'll have the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up in the bottom half of the 5th inning with Taylor Olson, Mickey Covarubio, and Jaden Reed due up as that pitch paints the outside corner, and O'Grady will take a seat as she goes down looking. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night for Ryan Denhart. 3 pitches takes care of O'Grady, and there's 1 away here in the 5th.
4th strikeout for Denhart against the Lobos. She's only given up 2 runs, 3 hits.
New Mexico, of course, have had their opportunities as well as Martinez digs in. Martinez responsible for the 2 runs on the board for New Mexico with a 2-run blast over the left field wall. Every run so far in this game has come via the long ball, with Martinez blasting her first home run of the year to give New Mexico a 2-0 lead at the time. Lily Bishop connecting for her first shot over the left field wall in the bottom of the 4th to put the Lopes on the board as that one's cut on and missed. The count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Martinez. So 5 quick strikes here in the top of the 5th inning for Ryan Denhart. About halfway towards an immaculate inning. We'll see if she gets it. Still a long way to go as she'll have to battle Bailey Klitsky waiting on deck. As she kicks, winds, and delivers the 0-2. That one blooped into right field. It's going to fall right in front of Torvill for a base hit. And Denhart will now deal with Klitsky with a runner on first base and 1 out. Perfectly placed there from Brianna Martinez as she has had Ryan Denhart's number this afternoon. Take another look there. Blooping that one right over the head of Taylor Olson and right in front of Savannah Torvill over the first base bag and into right field. So Bailey Klitsky now picked up a walk back in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 1st. Pitch misses outside. Count moves to 1-0. Mentioned Klitsky with 2 RBIs in yesterday's game. Still looking for her first hit this afternoon. That pitch misses just inside, and the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes. So again, just a runner on first and 1 out, but a very dangerous situation here for Ryan Denhart, because one swing of the bat here could make this a 3-run deficit for the Lopes if she's not careful.
She definitely needs to regain focus.
As the 2-0 pitch paints the outside corner. Beautiful spot there from Ryan Denhart, looking to battle back in this at-bat against Klitsky. Again, Andrea Howard mentioned how dangerous she's been so far in this tournament. Grounded out to short in her last at-bat, leaving 2 runners aboard against Ryan Denhart. 0 for 2 in this game, averaged down to 308 for Howard. As the 2-1 offering, fouled straight back as Denhart fools Klitsky there, and the count levels up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Denhart approaching 100 pitches here in the top half of the 5th inning. Trying to get out of it unscathed. At the top of her order, due up in the bottom of the 5th. Again, just a 1-run game as the Lopes look to turn their luck around here on this Sunday afternoon. 2-2 pitch. Ripped up the middle and into center field for a base hit. As Martinez moves to second, thought about going to third, but she'll stay right there. And New Mexico now putting the trouble on here for Ryan Denhart. Runners on first and second with 1 out. We'll take another look here. 2-2 pitch. Low in the zone, and Bailey Klitsky depositing that one into center field right over the head of Ryan Denhart. As Andrea Howard digs in again, like I mentioned, 0 for 2. Popped up to third back in the first, grounded to short back in the third, leaving 2 runners aboard in that 3rd inning. As that pitch paints the outside corner for a strike, count 0-1 on Howard. And of course, Denhart looking to keep this one low in the zone against Howard. Looking to get her to roll one over on the ground. Possible double play scenario as second and short, play about halfway. That one's lofted down the left field line, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes on Howard. I mentioned Fifield and Torvill playing straight up at second and short, as Dietrich playing in at the bag at third. Olsen in at the bag at first. It'll be an 0-2 pitch from Denhart to Howard. On the corner. Doesn't get Howard to bite, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
The Lopes could really use a double play right here.
Howard, of course, with 5 RBIs this weekend to go with those 3 home runs. Fouls that one straight back off the glove of Bishop, and will do it again on 1 and 2. Again, with a few pitches to spoil here, we'll see if Ryan Denhart tries to go low in the zone here, trying to get Howard to chase. Doesn't want to miss up. As she goes low and away there, misses outside. Doesn't get the call from the home plate umpire, Robinette. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So with her pitch count well over 100 now, we'll see what Ryan Denhart's leash is here for Coach Pearson moving forward in this 5th inning. She can get herself out of this jam with runners on first and second. 2-2 pitch, chopped foul, and we'll do it again. Another 7-pitch battle between Howard and Denhart. And that's what the Lobos have been able to do, not just against the Lopes this weekend, but against all their opponents, against Stanford and Weber State. They've been able to work the count against their opponents' pitching, giving themselves plenty of opportunity to capitalize. And a great opportunity here for the Lobos on this 2-2 pitch. Another pitch spoiled into the Lobos dugout and out of play. Outfield again playing fairly deep here for Howard as she lofts that one in the air deep to left field. Going back is Reed on the track at the wall. It's going to land foul off the glove of Jaden Reed. Tried to track it down right in front of the warning track. Unable to come away with the catch, but it does land foul. So a blessing in disguise there for Ryan Denhart as we take another look. That one just able to slice foul just a few inches
Looks like
to the left of that foul pole.
A hard hit for Reed into the warning track.
So we'll do it again. 8th pitch of this at-bat to Howard. 2-2 pitch. Popped up, and it looks like Ryan Denhart's going to win this battle. Olsen calls off both Denhart and Torvill, makes the play. A huge out number 2 for Ryan Denhart, winning that 8-pitch battle with Andrea Howard. Looking to get ahead of that pitch on the inner part of the plate as we take another look. Just a little too late, and she gets underneath it as all runners retreat back to their respective bases, with Olsen making the catch. And it looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter for Rayanne Tuck. We mentioned Tuck just hitting a .111 so far this season, 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a pair of strikeouts against Ryan Denhart. And we're going to get a pinch hitter here with 2 outs and 2 runners aboard. And it's going to be Lauren Wilmert, pinch hitting for New Mexico. The senior out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Trying to spark this offense for the Lobos against Ryan Denhart, who looks to work herself into and out of trouble for the 3rd consecutive inning. Martinez leads off of second. Klitsky off of first. 2 outs, 2 runners on. First pitch to Wilmert is in there for a strike count, 0-1. And it's been a very long half inning for Kennedy Ferguson, waiting to come back out there for the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll see if this takes a toll on Kennedy Ferguson, as that one's ripped in the air to center field on one hop. Takova Rubio throws back to second base, and the Lopes almost get the 3rd out of the inning there on the swipe tack from Torvill on Klitsky, rounding second base, but they're not going to get the tag, and a run will score. It's a pinch hit RBI single for Lauren Wilmert. Picks up her 2nd RBI in 4 at-bats this weekend for New Mexico. As you take another look there, the tag would have happened before Martinez crossed home plate. No runs would have scored. If she was able to swipe that tag, would have been the end of the inning. Still would have been a 2-1 lead for New Mexico.
Definitely a disappointing play for the Lopes.
But Klitsky able to get back to the bag before the tag, which allows Brianna Martinez to score. So it's a 3-1 lead now. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. And that'll bring up the very dangerous Sydney Broderick, who already has 2 home runs this season, walked in each of her first 2 plate appearances against Ryan Denhart. As a 1-0 pitch clips the inside corner. The count levels at 1-1. Pitch count up to 109 now for Ryan Denhart as she looks to get herself out of further trouble. So New Mexico's offense does the job as they get back that 1 run allowed in the bottom half of the 4th inning by Kennedy Ferguson. That pitch misses the outside corner. The count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike off the glove of Lily Bishop, but all runners stay put. So now 3 runs on 6 hits so far through 4 2/3 innings for this New Mexico offense. They've left 5 runners stranded against Ryan Denhart. As the Lopes still with just 1 run on 3 hits against Kennedy Ferguson. They've left 4 runners on base, 2 in scoring position as that pitch clips the outside corner, and the count levels at 2-2. So Denhart looking to make her pitch here with Schaffer waiting on deck. Be a huge out number 3 here against the heavy-hitting Sydney Broderick. We've seen 2 hitters in this lineup really take advantage of Ryan Denhart over this past weekend. Brianna Martinez obviously 3 for 3 this weekend, as that one's going to land foul just to the right of the right field line as all runners will retreat. It'll be a 2-2 count once again to Sydney Broderick, looking to drive in a run right there. Brianna Martinez 3 for 3 today with a 2-run home run against Ryan Denhart. And of course, Sydney Broderick taking Ryan Denhart for a ride yesterday with a solo home run, has walked in each of her first 2 plate appearances here today. As the 2-2 offering, 2 outs. Just misses on the outside corner as Denhart looking for the call from Anita Robinette. The home plate umpire won't get it as the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Klitsky and Wilmert will be looking to get good jumps off of second and first here. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, 3-2 count, 3-1 lead for New Mexico. We're in the top of the 5th. 111th pitch from Denhart. Payoff pitch. Roped in the air, shallow right. It's going to land foul. And we'll do it once more. Another 7-pitch battle between Denhart and Sydney Broderick. And the Lopes looked ahead into the bottom half of the 5th inning, only down by a pair with Taylor Olson, Mickey Covarubio, and Jaden Reed due up. Payoff pitch from Denhart. Ripped to second, bobbled by Torvill. Everyone's going to be safe. Rounding third is Klitsky, and she slides ahead of the tag from Lily Bishop. Great heads-up play and great heads-up base running from Bailey Klitsky as New Mexico now takes a 4-1 lead here in the 5th. As Coach Pearson's going to talk things over with the home plate umpire, Anita Robinette. It appeared as if Klitsky was able to slide in ahead of the tag there from Bishop after a strong throw from Savannah Torvill. And Torvill obviously bobbling that one just a bit, allowing.
They're going to call that an error by Torvill. Disappointing play for the Lopes.
And that'll do it for Ryan Denhart, who's going to leave this game in the top of the 5th inning. 4 2/3 innings pitched. She allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. The runners on first and second base are her responsibility, as we're going to see Lexi Coons for the 4th time this weekend as well, making her 3rd relief appearance so far this weekend for the Lopes, 2nd in relief of Ryan Denhart. Of course, she came into that game on opening night, only facing one hitter for Stanford, getting the final out in the top half of that 8th inning. She threw 3 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs against Weber State on Friday night, allowing that walk-off hit in that 7-6 loss to the Wildcats. And, of course, making 2 appearances here yesterday. Made an appearance against the Lobos. Gave up back-to-back home runs to Bailey Klitsky and Andrea Howard in that bottom half of the 3rd inning, making it a 5-3 game. New Mexico would end up scoring 4 runs on 5 hits in that 3rd inning to make it a 7-3 game. And Coons, of course, would be relieved by Ryan Denhart in that game yesterday. Coons making an appearance last night as well, relieving Ryan Denhart, as she'll look to get the final out here in the top half of the 5th inning as the Lopes look to stop the bleeding. Only down by 3. So after scoring 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning to cut the lead to 1, New Mexico gets 2 runs back to take their first and largest lead of the afternoon. 3-run deficit now for the Lopes as Javan Schaffer, the second baseman, will dig in. Again, still looking for her first RBI against the Lopes this weekend. Does have 1 RBI that came against Stanford yesterday in that 2-0 win.
Lexi Coons is the junior out of Tucson, Arizona. She's a bio and pre-med major.
First pitch to Schaffer, misses low. It's going to be called a strike by Robinette. And the count moves to 0-1. Pitched low in the zone there to Schaffer, who again still looking for her first hit on the season. Executed a sacrifice bunt to move Broderick over into scoring position back in the top half of the 2nd inning. Reached on an E5, a hard-hit ball off the glove of Kayleigh Dietrich. That happened in the top half of the 4th inning as she rolls that one over and is quickly behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Coons looking for the quick out number 3, looking to send her offense to the dish in the bottom half of the 5th. Dietrich, of course, playing about level with the bag over there at 3rd base, with Jenkins now leading off of 2nd. Pitch going to be chopped, going to be a tough play. Booted by Dietrich, and everyone's going to be safe. Jenkins, the pinch runner, taking a wide turn over there at 3rd base, slides back in head first. And now all ducks on the pond for New Mexico as it is bases loaded, 2 away. Taking another look here, another tough play coming across her body for Kayleigh Dietrich, cutting off Christine Fifield in the process. So with Jenkins on 3rd, Broderick on 2nd, and Schaffer over on 1st, bases loaded, 2 outs for Taylor Jones. Looking to make an impact. First pitch misses low and in. Count 1-0, and Taylor Jones, of course, still looking for her first hit. Just no hits and 5 at-bats in limited playing time for New Mexico so far here this weekend. Popped up softly to Savannah Torvill at 2nd base in her first at-bat. That happened in the 2nd and back in the 4th. Moved 2 runners over to 2nd and 3rd with a sacrifice bunt as she lofts that one in the air. Shallow right field. Coming on is Covarubio with the diving grab. A tremendous play there from Mickey Covarubio, limiting the damage for the Lopes in this one as Lexi Kuntz comes on to get the final out. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, New Mexico leaves the bases loaded. They do score 2 more runs on 2 more hits to take a 3-run lead over the Lopes.
Absolutely beautiful diving grab there. Well, Grand Canyon University Arena is proud to host Elevate 2020 Music Festival back in Phoenix, Arizona for its 8th straight year. You can join us this June for a great weekend of worship. Tickets are on sale now at gcuarena.com.
And of course, the casting crown's going to be in the house. Chris Tomlin, Josh Baldwin, as well as a bunch of other great musicians in the house as we take another look here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Taylor Jones still looking for her first hit of the year as Mickey Cavarubio lays out to keep this a 3-run advantage for New Mexico as Kennedy Ferguson will be back out on the mound here in the bottom of the 5th. Arguably her longest rest of the night after a big top half of the 5th inning for the Lobos, looking for their 2nd consecutive win over the Lopes here in Phoenix. So again, it'll be the 9-1 and 2 hitters for Grand Canyon, with Taylor Olson leading things off, still looking for her first hit of the season. Reached base back in the 3rd inning on a 4-pitch walk against Ferguson. Ferguson has allowed 2 walks here this afternoon. As the first pitch to Olson misses up and away, count 1-0. Ferguson has been lights out so far here this afternoon against this Lopes offense, minus the solo shot from Lily Bishop here last inning. As that pitch drops in there for a strike, and that evens up the count at 1-1. Ferguson only with 1 strikeout, so the Lopes have been able to put the ball in play. Just have been unable to capitalize on some key opportunities, leaving 4 runners on base, 2 in scoring position like we mentioned earlier. As the 1-1 offering misses low and inside, count moves to 2-1, and this is what you got to do if you're Taylor Olson. Got to make Ferguson throw strikes, as she learned in her last at-bat with that 4-pitch walk back in the 3rd inning. Lopes need base runners. 2-1 pitch. Misses low in the dirt, and the count moves to 3-1 on Olson. And unless it's her pitch to drive here, she won't be swinging on 3-1, looking to reach first base with the heavy-hitting Covarubio waiting on deck. 0 for 2 today, has lifted 2 fly balls to right field, almost connecting for her first home run of the year back in the 1st inning. She flew out to the warning track. As that one's lifted in the air, right field, so swinging on 3-1 is Olson, and coming on is Jones, having a tough time with the sun as it peaks out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, calling off Schaffer at the last second. Making the diving grab, making that one look a little bit harder than it should have been as we take another look here on the replay. Healthy hack there from Taylor Olson, just gets underneath it. Definitely would have been on second base if that ball had dropped. Would have been a big opportunity for the Lopes, but another great snag there from Jones out there in left field, or in right field, excuse me. As there's 1 away here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Mickey Cavarubio, looking to get on base with 1 out. First pitch swinging, she gets on base with 1 out. Another base hit for Mickey Cavarubio. She now has 7 hits and 15 at-bats so far this season, as she extends that hitting streak to 4 games. Of course, first hit coming against Weber State on Friday night. Did not get the start on opening night. Gets the start against Weber State on Friday night, picks up 2 hits. And she was able to pick up 2 more against Stanford in the nightcap of that doubleheader on Friday to extend it to 2. Jaden Reed lays down the bunt in her first at-bat. Beautiful bunt from Jaden Reed, and she's going to beat it out for an infield single. So Jaden Reed making things happen with her speed down the first base line, as that one was gobbled up by Rachel Hathut, just unable to throw it across the diamond in time. And just like that, the Lopes are going to bring the tying run to the plate in Savannah Torvill, as you take another look here on the replay.
Number 26, Savannah Torvill.
Savannah Torvill is the sophomore out of Whittier, California. She was a key player last season for the Lopes, named to the All-WAC freshman team, and then to the All-WAC tournament team.
That one's going to be chopped over the mound. Going to be a tough play, and it's not going to be made by Ferguson. Ferguson going back on that one. May have wanted to come in front of that one to try and get the force out at second base. Shies away from it as it hits off her glove. Let's take another look here. First pitch swinging. Torvill gets it off the end of the bat as Ferguson tried to backhand it over the circle, just to the left of the circle, as this loads the bases for the Lopes here with one out. And we've talked about the opportunities all weekend long. Montana left the bases loaded twice here last night. Bases loaded, one out in the bottom of the second inning against the Wildcats. Left them stranded. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh, bringing the tying run to the plate here last night against Weber State. Lily Bishop going down on strikes to end that game. And they've left a total of 4 runners on and 2 runners in scoring position so far here this afternoon against Ferguson. And Ferguson is going to have to get herself out of trouble here, as it looks like Rachel Hammonds is going to come on and pinch run for Savannah Torvill. Again, a ball in the gap here will tie the game for the Lopes, trying to put as much speed on the base paths as possible. So Kayleigh Holland looks to break out of her slump here, hitting 118, 0 for 2 on the day.
It's a big opportunity for the Lopes.
It's going to be Olivia Zufelt, the freshman, pinch hitting for Kayleigh Holland. We mentioned last night picking up a 2-run home run in the bottom of the third inning against the Wildcats. As she rips that one in the gap, and that one's going to drop in for a base hit. That one might clear the bases. Rounding third is Hammonds. Here's the play at the plate. There's going to be no play. A pinch hit, 3-run, game-tying double for Olivia Zufelt, and we're all knotted up at 4. As that brings the GCU softball stadium into a frenzy here in Phoenix. A big extra base hit as the Lopes finally break through and capitalize in a key situation. Take another look here on the replay. First pitch swinging, inside-out swing from Olivia Zufelt. Able to wait on that pitch on the inner part of the plate, take it the other way into the gap. And we mentioned before, if the Lopes were able to find the gap out there in the outfield with Rachel Hammonds pinch running over there at first base, we were going to have a 4-4 tie, and that's exactly what we have here in Phoenix, as that'll do it for Kennedy Ferguson. Finishes with a line of 4 1/3 innings pitched, allows 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which are earned. Allowed 2 walks while picking up 1 strikeout, but the big blow as she leaves this one, a pinch hit, game-tying 3-run double off the bat of Olivia Zufelt, who now has herself 6 runs batted in this weekend for the Lopes in her debut as a freshman.
Olivia Zufelt, the freshman out of Idaho, has really made her debut, as you said, Jack. Really came in clutch for the team when needed all weekend long. And right now, that double was a big clutch point for the Lopes. Lopes still looking to get their first win of the season on a 5-game losing streak currently.
And of course, Zufelt picking up a pinch hit RBI against Weber State on Friday, following it up with a 2-run blast over the center field wall against the Wildcats here last night in the second game of that doubleheader. That cut the lead to 2. Lopes trailed that one 4-0 at the time. That made it 4-2 with that blast over the center field wall. It was the Lopes' first home run of the season as a team before Lily Bishop connected for one earlier today. And now a huge pinch hit, 3-run double to tie this game by Olivia Zufelt, as Gianna Nicoletti will look to give the Lopes the lead with a runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs. First pitch misses low in the zone. It's Brianna Sanchez entering this one. We mentioned Brianna Sanchez coming off that complete game shutout against Stanford yesterday, going 7 innings pitched, only allowing 2 hits. She's thrown in 10 innings so far this weekend, as she lays that one in there, just a bit high in the count, 2-0 on Nicoletti. She's allowed 10 hits, 3 earned runs, has walked 4 while picking up 3 strikeouts for a 2.61 ERA total, looking now to get out of this inning with a 4-4 tie. Remember, the runner on second base is the responsibility, as that one is eaten up once again by O'Grady. She's not going to be able to make the play. She makes the flip throw trying to get Zufelt at the last second. But a tough play there from Cameron O'Grady. Not going to be able to make the plays. You take another look here on the replay. Was able to eat it up but won't make the play at first base. Now runners on first and second for the Lopes with 1 out. And that'll bring up Kristen Fifield. And we mentioned some of the new faces of this weekend. Mickey Covarubio making her presence felt. 5-game hitting streak at the moment. Olivia Zufelt obviously with the 6 RBIs like we mentioned. And now Kristen Fifield has an opportunity to put the Lopes ahead with her first hit in a Lopes uniform. Takes that one up from Sanchez, and the count quickly 1-0.
Brianna Sanchez, the freshman out of West Covina, California, got her first win against Stanford earlier this weekend after 2 losses, one against Stanford, one against Weber State.
That's a 1-0 offering. Fifield squares to bunt, lays off that pitch on the outer part of the plate, and the count moves to 2-0. And of course, Sanchez trying to bring that dominance from that Stanford game. Like we mentioned, 7 shutout innings en route to a 2-0 win. That was their first win of this tournament over Stanford before defeating the Lopes 9-4 here yesterday. Fifield bunts that one in the air, fouls. The count moves to 2-1. So Fifield obviously just trying to move the runners over to second and third here with 2 outs, with Lily Bishop already 1 for 1 in this game with that home run and a walk earlier on, with an opportunity to drive in a pair to give the Lopes a 6-4 lead. So we'll see after failing on that first bunt attempt what Fifield does here on 2-1. Sanchez trying to level the count at 2-2, as that one's going to be off the leg of Fifield. She was in the batter's box, so it will be a foul ball as the count levels up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So that takes the bunt away for Kristen Fifield. With Zuvelt on second, Nicoletti on first. It'll be a 2-2 pitch coming from Sanchez. We're all knotted up at 4 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As a 2-2 pitch misses low, and the count now runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a huge pitch here for Sanchez as the Lopes able to work Sanchez's pitch count up here in the first batter. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat to Kristen Fifield. As a payoff pitch misses low in the dirt, and the bases are loaded once more here in the GCU softball stadium. All ducks on the pond once again, with Zufelt on third, Nicoletti on first, and Nicoletti on second, and Fifield over there on first base for Lily Bishop. And I remember Lily Bishop with the bases loaded here last night, struck out looking to end that one, a 6-2 loss at the hands of the Weber State Wildcats. Picked up a long home run, her first of the year in her last at-bat. Would love to come through here with 1 out. Trying to give the Lopes the lead. Takes a first pitch low in the dirt, and the count is 1-0 on Bishop. Of course, Lily walking in our first at-bat in the second. And of course, Sydney Broderick, you got to give credit to where credit's due, has done a tremendous job behind the dish so far this afternoon defensively for New Mexico. As the 1-0 pitch misses up, and the count is 2-0 on Bishop. Nowhere to put Lily Bishop here with the bases loaded. So Sanchez is going to have to come right after this Lopes heavy-hitting right-handed bat. Martinez playing fairly deep out there in left field as the 2-0 pitch misses low, and the count moves to 3-0. Absolutely nowhere to put Lily Bishop as Sydney Broderick calls time, and she's going to want to talk things over with her right-hander, Brianna Sanchez. The question is here, Montana, do you turn Lily Bishop loose here on 3-0 the way she swung the bat in her last at-bat? Again, she only has 2 hits on the season. Average still sitting at 154. And of course, the Lopes, the way they've been swinging the bats all day, have not been able to come through in these key situations despite this 5th inning. Is not turned loose, takes a fastball over the heart of the plate, and the count moves to 3-1.
I think regardless, she is a dangerous hitter for the Lopes, coming off of her last seasons where she was so successful at the plate. She only gets better after time.
3-1 delivery. Ripped into the gap, right center field. It's going to be caught by Jones. Tagging from third is Zuvelt. There's going to be no play at the plate. Cut off by Tuck, and the Lopes complete the comeback. They trailed 4-1 entering this inning. A huge 3-run double from Olivia Zufelt. She scores the go-ahead run on the sac fly from Lily Bishop. She now has 2 RBIs on the day, and the Lopes lead it 5-4 here in the 5th. So take another look here. Sliding in safely is Olivia Zufelt, and that'll bring up Kayleigh Dietrich with runners on first and second and 2 outs. So this inning far from over for Brianna Sanchez and the Lobos, who will look to at least even things in the top half of the 6th inning. As that first pitch misses up, count 1-0. Sanchez having a tough time here finding the strike zone against the bottom third of this Lopes order. After falling behind 3-0 on Bishop, falls behind 1-0 here on Dietrich. That'll be the top of the order for New Mexico. against Lexi Coons in the top of the 6th as that pitch misses outside. Count 2-0 now on Dietrich. It'll be Rachel Hathut, already 1 for 3 today. Cameron O'Grady still looking for her first hit. She's 0 for 3 as well. And, of course, Brianna Martinez had Ryan Denhart's number, 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs today. She'll do battle with Lexi Coons for the first time in this tournament. As that pitch misses inside, and the count now 3-0 on Dietrich. Remember, a base is open with Taylor Olson waiting on deck, and Taylor Olson would love to get an opportunity here with the bases loaded, still looking for her first hit of the season. Nicoletti looking to get a good jump off of second base. 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Count moves to 3-1 on Dietrich.
Loeb seeming to finally taking advantage of these opportunities.
As a 3-1 pitch, cut on and missed. A healthy hack there from Dietrich, and moving from second to third, a stolen base for Gianna Nicoletti. Broderick thought about throwing that one to third, but thought better of it. Caught her off guard. Seemed like a delayed steal there from Gianna Nicoletti as she swipes her first bag of the season. Runners on the corners now. Payoff pitch coming to Dietrich. Misses low. Throw down to second won't matter, but coming home is Gianna Nicoletti. A huge heads-up play from Gianna Nicoletti as they're going to gun down Fifield over at third base. A huge, very big heads-up play there from Gianna Nicoletti, able to score after the throw down to second base. Not a great heads-up play there from Sydney Broderick, as Fifield was going to be safe regardless because of the walk. So the Lopes take the lead, a 6-4 lead going into the top half of the 6th. 5 runs on 4 hits. The big blow, a 3-run double off the bat of Olivia Zufeld. Let's head to the 6th. You're watching GCU softball right here on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on it. It was unbelievable. Having insurance is something everyone needs, but having USAA, that's a privilege. We're the Bakers, and we're USAA members for life.
USAA. Get your insurance quote today.
Back here inside the GCU softball stadium for inning number 6 between the Lobos and the Lopes. A brand new ball game here for the Lopes. They lead it by 2, 6-4 lead after a 5-run bottom of the 5th inning. The offense finally explodes in this tournament for Coach Pearson and her offense. Of course, the big blow down 4-1 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Pinch hits Olivia Zufeld for Kayleigh Holland, and it comes up big for Coach Pearson. A 3-run pinch hit, game-tying double for Olivia Zufeld. She now has 6 RBIs in this tournament as Coons delivers the first pitch to Hathut, in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Count 0-1. Hathut, of course, 1 for 3 in this game. Picked up a single in the first, scoring on that 2-run home run from Brianna Martinez off of Ryan Denhart, as Lexi Coons comes back out for her first full inning of work in this one. As you can see, the shadow starting to loom beyond the batter's box as Hathut swings through that pitch. Count quickly 0-2. Definitely a disadvantage for the hitter as opposed to the pitcher.
Love to see the encouragement from Lexi's teammates.
Reed playing fairly deep out there in left field for the heavy-hitting Hathut. Again, already 1 home run on this season for the New Mexico third baseman. Trying to work the count here against Coons with her team down by 2. Of course, the Lopes adding on a huge insurance run after the heads-up base running from Gianna Nicoletti. As the 1-2 pitch in the dirt, count moves to 2-2. And runners on first and second, 2 outs. 3-2 pitch to Kayleigh Dietrich, missed low in the zone. And Sydney Broderick losing track of the count, throws the ball down to second base, allowing Gianna Nicoletti to score to give the Lopes a 2-run advantage. That one's roped into center field. Second base hit of the day for Rachel Hathut. And just like that, New Mexico brings the tying run to the plate with a runner on first base and nobody out. And again, that top third of the order with tremendous power for the Lobos. Cameron O'Grady already with 3 extra base hits this weekend, 3 doubles, while picking up 2 RBIs in the process. Still looking for her first hit of today's game. 0 for 3, struck out looking in her last at-bat back in the 5th. Grounded out, back to Ryan Denhart in the 3rd before popping up in the 1st inning to Savannah Torvill at second base. Takes that one outside. Count quickly 1-0 on Coons. Coons only with 12 pitches so far early on in this outing for the Lopes today. O'Grady would love to get on here with the dangerous hitting Brianna Martinez waiting on deck as the go-ahead run. As that pitch misses outside, count quickly 2-0 on O'Grady. Lexi Coons looking to find the strike zone here after her team picked up those 5 runs on 4 hits in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lopes now with the 6 runs on 6 hits. Again, only leaving those 2 runners in scoring position to date, as that one's going to be lofted in the air. Left field, Reed has it. Puts it away for the first out. Big out there for Lexi Coons, getting the first out of this inning after falling behind 2-0 on Cameron O'Grady. She's now 0 for 4. With her average dipping below 230 for the season now. And that'll bring up Brianna Martinez, 3 for 3 on the day, a pair of singles, a 2-run home run back in the 1st, all against Ryan Denhart. This will be the first time she'll face Lexi Coons all weekend long here in Phoenix. Average up to 385 with her 3 hits today. Looking for hit number 4 as she'll take a pitch on the outside corner, and the count moves to 1-0. Single through the left side back in the 3rd, and she punched one over the head of Taylor Olson at first base into right field for a base hit back in the 5th. Has a homer and 3 RBIs total early on this season and just 13 at-bats. As the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner just misses, and the count moves to 2-0. As Lexi Coons wants to confirm things with home plate umpire Anita Robinette, the count is 2-0. Of course, the Lopes taking that 5-run lead. Looking to take their first W in the win column this weekend. Looking to move to 1-5, but this game's still far from over. Up by 2 as that pitch in there for a called strike. Not the part of the order you want up if you're Lexi Coons right now after taking that lead. With Martinez at the plate, Bailey Klitsky. We've talked about her power waiting on deck, already with a hit this afternoon. And I have to be very careful to this heavy hitting part of this New Mexico Lobo offense. As the 2-1 pitch misses up, and the count moves to 3-1 now on Martinez. So Coons going to have to make her pitch here. You do have 2 bases open, but a very dangerous left-handed bat and Bailey Klitsky waiting on deck. New Mexico have left 8 runners on base, 4 in scoring position despite scoring 4 runs on 7 hits in this one. As the 3-1 pitch drops in there low for ball 4. And just like that, New Mexico lurking in the shadows here in the top half of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second with 1 out, and that will bring up Bailey Klitsky. As Lily Bishop wants to talk things over with Lexi Coons. We mentioned Lexi Coons struggling just a little bit against New Mexico's offense yesterday, and of course, Bailey Klitsky taking her deep over the center field wall in the bottom of the 3rd inning to give New Mexico a 4-3 lead in that game yesterday. Fastball over the heart of the plate. All Mickey Calvarubio could do yesterday on that ball was turn and watch as it went over the green net in center field. Klitsky hitting .308 this season as well. Picked up a single in her last at-bat. Struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, all against Ryan Denhart. As the first pitch misses, and it gets past Lily Bishop, and that allows the runners to move up. So just like that, a single can potentially tie this game with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Hathut on 3rd, Martinez on 2nd. With 1 out and a 1-0 count. And as you take another look here, pitch in the dirt, just gets away from Lily Bishop.
What seemed like a comfortable lead for the Lopes has Now Lexi Coons feeling like she might be in some danger here.
As that pitch misses outside, and the count moves to 2-0. And again, first base is open here as she falls behind 2-0 on Klitsky, with Howard waiting on deck. Equally as dangerous as Andrea Howard waiting on deck, but she is 0 for 3 in this game. Remember, she also took Lexi Coons deep yesterday, with Klitsky and Howard going back-to-back. But a 2-0 delivery here to Klitsky. Goes outside once more, gets the call from the home plate umpire, and the count moves to 2-1. Would be interesting to see what Coons goes with here. If she falls behind 3-1, probably will stay off the plate against Klitsky. But if she comes back here, evens up the count at 2-2, she'll probably try and get Klitsky to chase with a pitch to spoil. 2-1 pitch on the outside corner, paints the corner, and we're all even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Lexi Coons makes her pitches here against Bailey Klitsky as she looks to finish the job with Howard waiting on deck. Again, we are in the top half of the 6th inning. 6-4 lead for GCU. Runners on second and third. 2-2 count to Bailey Klitsky. Trying to even this game up at 6. 2-2 pitch. Ripped down the third baseline as she pokes that one the other way. And we'll do it once more. So the 6th pitch of this at-bat coming between Coons and Klitsky.
Once again, New Mexico really working the count.
Pitch count up to 18 now for Lexi Coons. And in just 7 1/3 innings pitched, she's only allowed 3 earned runs. All coming against the Lobos. Or 2 coming against the Lobos yesterday. 2 unearned runs as well in that 3rd inning. Remember, Brooke Cantillo unable to come away with the catch in right field, allowing 2 runs to score as that pitch misses low and away, and the count runs full at 3-2. So Lexi Coons not getting Klitsky to bite on that pitch low and away. And again, first base is open. It'll be interesting to see where Lexi Coons goes on this next pitch, if she comes right after Klitsky or tries to get her to chase something off the plate. Payoff pitch to Klitsky. Ripped to right field, base hit. Coming up throwing is Nicoletti. There's going to be a play at the plate. Tag from Bishop, and she's out at home plate. A big play from Gianna Nicoletti out there in right field. Right on the money with that throw as Bishop applies the tag on Martinez. It's a 6-5 game now for the Lopes, but New Mexico unable to knot things up at 6 with a runner on first base now with 2 away as we take another look. Base hit there as Klitsky able to poke it into right field, picks up another RBI in this tournament, but as you can see there, a perfect throw right on the money from Gianna Nicoletti with Bishop applying the tag on Martinez. So now with 2 away, runner on first base, the go-ahead run in Howard comes to the plate. Again, 1 for 1 yesterday against Lexi Coons with a home run over the left center field wall. Pitch misses and gets away from Bishop. Another huge pass ball here for the Lopes, as Klitsky moves into scoring position with another opportunity to tie this game on a single for the Lobos. So Gianna Nicoletti making things happen both on the base paths as well as defensively out there in right field over the past half hour or so, as that one drops in there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. And of course, Gianna Nicoletti with her heads-up base running gave the Lopes that 6th run in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Yeah, Gianna Nicoletti has had an excellent performance this game.
And without that heads-up base running, you're looking at a 5-5 tie right now after gunning down Martinez from second base, as that one misses just a bit outside, and the count moves to 2-1. So Coons just trying to get out of this one with just 1 run allowed with her team up by 1. It will be Olsen, Cavarubio, and Jaden Reed due up in the bottom half of the 6th inning as the Lopes hit around the order in the bottom half of the 5th inning. As a 2-1 pitch misses outside, the count moves to 3-1 now on Howard. You don't want to give in to the dangerous hitting Howard. Already 3 home runs on the season, 2 coming against the Lopes here yesterday. She had the one against Lexi Coons in the 3rd inning over the center field wall, and then one well over the right field wall against Ryan Denhart in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 delivery to Howard. Paints the outside corner for a strike, and the count moves to 3-2. Perfectly executed by Lexi Coons as she looks to put Howard away for the final out. Rayan Tuck waiting on deck. 0 for 2 in this game for the Lobos. Coons taking her time out there on the circle. Looks in for the sign from Bishop. Klitsky leads off of second, kicks, winds, and delivers the payoff pitch. That one's going to be ripped in the gap in left center field, and that one's going to fall for a base hit. That's going to tie the score. Moving to second is Howard. It's going to be a game-tying RBI double for Andrea Howard. She has herself another RBI in this series against the Lopes. 6 RBIs now in this tournament for Howard, as you can see on the replay, dropping in there in the gap between Reed and Covarubio, and we're all knotted up at 6. So just like that, a 5-run bottom half of the 5th inning for the Lopes. New Mexico able to get those runs right back. We saw New Mexico's offense get 2 runs back after the solo shot from Lily Bishop in the bottom half of the 4th inning. As they have now scored 4 runs in each of the last 2 innings. Chance to take the lead back here against Coons, as that one's going to be ripped right to Fifield. Throws across the diamond for the 6-3 put out in the final out of the inning, but not before New Mexico ties the game. 2 more runs on 3 more hits. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th. We're all knotted up at 6 here in the GCU softball stadium.
Well, if you're visiting campus this spring, why not stay at the GCU Hotel? Featuring comfortable rooms, a resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill, it's the perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com.
Of course, the final day of this tournament for all teams involved. For the GCU Lopes, Stanford Cardinal, New Mexico Lobos, and the Weber State Wildcats, as we take another look here at the final out of this inning. Easy hop there for Kristen Fifield to throw across the diamond to Taylor Olson. As we've seen plenty of highlights so far here through the first 5 1/3 innings. 5 1/2 innings here in Phoenix on this Sunday afternoon between New Mexico and Grand Canyon, as Brianna Sanchez looks for a scoreless bottom half of the 6th inning against this Lopes order, who was struggling all day long, all weekend long, to score runs, but broke through in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Olivia Zufeld with a 3-run double to tie the game at 4. And of course, the Lopes taking the lead on a sac fly from Lily Bishop. Gianna Nicoletti with heads-up base running over there at third base after stealing third base, was able to score on a throw down to second from Sydney Broderick of New Mexico to make this a 6-4 game, but New Mexico able to battle back after getting a runner thrown out at home plate. Brianna Martinez thrown out at home plate by Gianna Nicoletti, as that one's going to be grounded to second base. And a quick out, number 1, 4-3 put out from Schaffer. As she retires Araceli Pescara, pinch hitting for Taylor Olson. And there's quickly 1 away, and that will bring up Mickey Covarubio. Covarubio 1 for 3 today. Again, just missing her first home run of the season back in the 1st inning. She flew out to right once more back in the 3rd before picking up a hit, extending her hitting streak to 5 back in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Looking for her 2nd hit of the day here against Sanchez. Trying to put a runner on board with 1 out here in the 6th. Swings through that one, and the count moves to 1-1. Covarubio now hitting .467 this first weekend for the Lopes, looking to take that on the road next weekend as the Lopes will travel. So that one misses low, and the count moves to 2-1.
Lopes really looking to take advantage of this inning. Looking to get the bats going is really what they need right now.
The Lopes, of course, will, again, like I mentioned, travel here next weekend, as that pitch drops in there on the outside corner to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. They'll play Western Illinois on Friday in Waco, Texas, as a part of the Getterman Classic Tournament. 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed, and Covarubio goes down on strikes. So 2 away now for Brianna Sanchez. Looking for the first 1-2-3 inning for the Lobos since the bottom half of the 1st inning, as she'll face Gianna Nicoletti with 2 away.
And as you mentioned, as the Lopes travel for the Waco Classic, they'll take on Western Illinois, Baylor, Prairie View A&M, and they'll see if they'll make it to the semifinals and then the championship game out there in Waco. next weekend, while baseball will have their opening weekend here at home.
Lopes looking to travel with a 1-5 record as Jaden Reed pokes that one out. Shallow left field, and what a spectacular play from Brianna Martinez. We saw Martinez make a great stab yesterday to start the game off of a fly ball off the bat of Brooke Cantillo as she takes it away from Jaden Reed. A 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez. We're going to the 7th. Something's got to give between these two offenses. It's a 6-6 tie between the Lobos and the Lopes. You're watching GCU softball here on GCU TV.
We needed one more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Across the painted desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
Let's move to the 7th here in Phoenix. It's a 6-6 tie between the New Mexico Lobos and the Grand Canyon University Lopes. Lexi Coons back out on the circle. She'll deal with the bottom third of the order for New Mexico, starting with Sydney Broderick, as she looks for her first hit of the afternoon. Has reached base twice with 2 walks happening in the 2nd and the 4th inning. Reached on an E4 that allowed the 4th run of the game to score for New Mexico after Savannah Torvill was unable to come away with the play. It'll be Broderick, Schaffer, and Jones trying to get something going here for New Mexico, trying to retake the lead for the 2nd time today as the first pitch misses low. Count moves to 1-0. So 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of the 6th inning for Brianna Sanchez as Brianna Martinez makes a splendid diving grab off the bat of Jaden Reed, looking for another hit here this weekend. Has hit the ball hard. Seems like in almost each and every one of her at-bats for Jaden Reed. Just not a lot to show for it so far here this weekend. Picked up her first hit in her first at-bat against Maddie Dwyer on Thursday night. Picked up 2 hits so far here this weekend as Coons evens up the count at a ball and a strike against Broderick. Again, Broderick with great power. We saw yesterday picking up her 2nd home run of the season in a 5th inning solo shot against Ryan Denhart. As the 1-1 pitch misses up, count moves to 2-1 on Broderick. Broderick depositing that one over the left field wall to make it a 8-3 lead at the time for the Lobos. Only 2 RBIs of the season so far have come via the long ball with those 2 solo shots. As the 2-1 pitch popped in the air, shallow left field. Sun going to play a factor here, but Kristen Fifield able to come away with it for the first out. So 2 more outs here for Lexi Coons to get before heading into the bottom half of the 7th inning with the heart of the Lopes order due up, looking for a walk-off victory.
Second baseman, Gavin Schaffer.
That'll bring up Gavin Schaffer, who again, the bottom third of this order has struggled offensively this season for New Mexico. Both Schaffer and Taylor Jones each still looking for their first hit of the season. 0 for 2 on the day is Schaffer, 0 for 12 on the season. Picked up a sac bunt back in the 2nd inning. Reached on an E5 in the 4th. Hit one right on the screws to Kayleigh Dietrich. As that one is just off the outside corner. The count moves to 2-0. Lexi Coons not getting the call there from the home plate umpire, Anita Robinette. Doesn't want to fall behind. 3-0 here to the bottom third of this order. Not a very dangerous part of this lineup for the Lobos. As that pitch misses inside, count moves to 3-0.
It's important for the Lopes to stay strong defensively at this point of time.
As, of course, the Lopes with 4 errors in this one. New Mexico has not been that strong defensively either, as they've committed 3 errors so far in this one. 7 errors combined from both clubs, as that one's going to miss outside. A 4-pitch walk here in the top of the 7th, handed out by Lexi Coons to Javan Schaffer. She reaches for the 3rd time today, and that'll bring up Taylor Jones. Jones making a diving grab in the the bottom half of the 5th inning. 0 for 2 today. As it looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter for Jones in this situation. Second pinch hitter of the day for New Mexico. As it's going to be Leslie Romero, the outfielder sophomore out of Gonzales, California. Making her first appearance this weekend against Lopes pitching. First pitch, misses low and in, count 1-0. Romero only has 3 at-bats this season and limited playing time. 0 for 3, has yet to reach base. Schaffer leading off at first base, has only scored 1 run this entire weekend. Looking to make it 2 here in the top half of the 7th inning as that pitch plates the outside corner. The count moves to 1-1. Coons' pitch count now up to 44. Again, in an inning and 2/3 today, he's only allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs, both coming an inning ago in the top of the 6th, with New Mexico evening up the score at 6 apiece after going down 6-4 in the bottom of the 5th. 5-run inning for the Lopes as that one's ripped in the air, deep center field. Going back is Covarubio, and right in front of the track is able to track it down for the 2nd out. Great play defensively there for Mickey Covarubio for the 2nd out.
Mickey Covarubio, we've been talking about her all weekend. Not only has she been successful at the plate, she's been a huge clutch defensively. As you see there, as we take another look at that last play.
The one-handed grab from Covarubio right in front of the warning track as that one was hit right on the screws from Romero. Still looking for her first hit of the season. She's now 0 for 4. Inning long from over, though. Lexi Coons still has to do battle here with Rachel Hathut in her 4th plate appearance. This will be her 5th plate appearance, 2 for 4 on the day. Picked up a single back in the 6th. Pair of singles in this game for Hathut. Again, single to lead off this game, scoring on the 2-run home run from Martinez. Lays off that pitch, and it is confirmed by the first base umpire, Dale Wilson, as the count moves to 1-1. Again, it'll be the heart of the order due up for the Lopes in the bottom half of the 7th. Torvill, Zufelt, and Nicoletti trying to come away with their first win of the 2020 season here in the GCU kickoff tournament. 1-1 delivery from Coons. Popped in the air to center. Right there is Covarubio. She has it, and that'll do it here in the top half of the 7th inning. As we move to the bottom of the 7th, 6-6 tie between New Mexico and Grand Canyon. Do the Lopes have a rally in their bones? Only one way to find out as we move into the bottom of the 7th.
Well, you can catch GCU TV's original series, Living as Lopes, Finding Your Purpose. Living as Lopes follows a group of GCU students as they navigate their way through college life and all that it holds, with a few fun twists along the way. You can watch every new episode every week on youtube.com/GCU. You can also find tons of other cool stuff on our YouTube featuring sports, features, and tons of other fun stuff.
Again, check all those out on youtube.com/GCU. Lopes, again, looking for their first win of 2020 here in the bottom of the 7th. If they're going to get it, it's going to come in walk-off fashion here against Brianna Sanchez, out for her 2nd full inning of work. Picked up a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 6th after her team was able to tie it up at 6 in the top half of that inning. But she'll now do battle with the heart of this Lopes order. A ton of power in the heart of this Lopes order. Starting with Savannah Torvill, 1 for 3 in this game, picked up a base hit back in the 3rd inning, was left stranded. Reached on an E1 in her last at-bat, came around to score on the bases clearing double from Olivia Zufelt. And the first pitch from Sanchez drops in there for a ball, count 1-0. Again, Torvill leading the Lopes in home runs offensively a year ago. Zufelt already has 1 to her stat totals so far, with one here last night against the Wildcats. Already has 3 RBIs today with one swing of the bat. That happened in the 5th, as that one's ripped down the left field line, and it hooks foul, and the count moves to 1-1. Torvill trying to cheat a little bit there against Sanchez, trying to get ahead of that pitch on the inside corner.
Torvill's definitely one of GCU's power hitters, as we mentioned last year, being named to the All-WAC team and then the All-WAC tournament team, starting almost every game.
There's that one misses low in the zone. Count moves to 2-1.
She finished second in the conference last year with 48 RBIs, where she led her team in RBI doubles, slugging percentage, home runs, and multiple run games.
Two-1 delivery to Torvill. Chopped. 2-0 Grady throws across the diamond for the 6-3 putout. As she waited for that high hop there. Would have been a tough play regardless, but gets Torvill for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring up Olivia Zufeld. And again, in her last at-bat, Zufeld pinch hitting for Kayleigh Holland. And on the very first pitch, took a pitch over the heart of the plate, inner heart part of the plate against Sanchez, and roped it into the right center field gap. Takes that first pitch up, and it's called a strike. Count quickly 0-1, hitting .300 in our young career here for the Lopes. Just 3 hits and 10 at-bats. 2 extra base hits with the double now. As the 0-1 pitch drops in there for a strike, and the count quickly no balls and 2 strikes. We can see why Brianna Sanchez was so successful against Stanford here yesterday with that complete game shutout. Now she has made quick work of this Lopes order since entering this game back in the 5th. That one misses up, and the count moves to 1-2.
Both Sanchez and Zufeld, both freshen, both feeling the pressure right now as we're all knotted up at 6.
Again, the right field line wide open with Jones playing to her left as that one's drilled deep in the air, left center field. There it goes! Sayonara! Walk-off home run for Olivia Zufeld and the Lopes. Put a W in the win column here in Phoenix as they end this tournament with win number 1 in 2020.
Man, that has to feel good if you're Olivia Zufeld. Freshman season, only her 6th game walk-off fashion home run.
As you take another look, exact same location where she hit it last night against Ramirez and the Wildcats. Her 2nd home run of the year, as she greets Coach Pearson with the high five, celebrates with her teammates at home plate. The Lopes win this one 7-6 in walk-off fashion. A huge weekend for Olivia Zufeld in her freshman campaign with the purple and white. The Lopes trailed this one 4-1 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. They end up taking a 6-4 lead. Olivia Zufeld with a 3-run double to tie that game at 4. Comes around to score on a sac fly from Lily Bishop. Lily Bishop also picking up her first home run of the year with a home run over the left field wall back in the 4th inning. New Mexico able to tie the score up at 6 against Lexi Coons, and then Olivia Zufeld depositing one over the center field wall with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th to give the Lopes that 7-6 victory.
And Jack, as you mentioned, Olivia Zufeld, 2 career home runs as a freshman. She's only getting started here at GCU. Looking to see what she's going to do as the season progresses. I mean, helping her team secure their first win of the 2020 season after a 5-game losing streak. She really came in clutch this weekend.
And the Lopes, of course, win this one by a final score to 7-6. That concludes the GCU kickoff tournament. Thanks for tuning in all weekend long. The Lopes, of course, will be back on Friday, February 21st to take on Drake at 5 p.m. Catch it here on GCU TV. Follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. From everybody here at GCU TV alongside Montana Lambden, I'm Jack O'Hara saying sayonara from GCU Softball Stadium here in the heart and soul of Phoenix, Arizona. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And as always, go Lopes.